fear and stress. These are the two things Five Nights at Freddy's evokes in its players. The sense of fear and stress. Fear that something, someone, whatever is out there, observing, lurking in the shadows, ready to attack you at a moment's notice. And stress. The stress of having to manage so many things at once, knowing full well that messing up just once will end in disaster. And Scott Cawthon knew this. FNAF 1 was born out of people's criticism towards Scott's games. But instead of going the easy way and just giving up on his dream, or just flipping everyone off, calling them haters and banning them from his socials, he decided to listen to what they said and create something out of it. His last game before he would quit making games forever. So, the main critique Scott received was that the characters in his most recent game, Chipper & Sons Lumber Co., looked like creepy, lifeless animatronics. Robots with fursuits that were popular in children's restaurants like Chuck E. Cheese in the late 80s and early 90s. So, right off the bat, he had a setting to base the game on and what to design the monsters after, giving us that sense of creepiness and twisted nostalgia. Immediately after you begin night 1 and you flip up the camera, you're sent straight into the uncanny valley. It's strange. These empty tables, posters, everywhere. It all seems right at home, but not. The very first thing you see is the main stage that houses the animatronics. The lifeless animatronics, right? The designs themselves are good, albeit kinda goofy when shown in full, but that's okay. You're only seeing them in the dark, so it's quite hard to notice once they've left the stage. Which brings me to the two most important aspects of FNAF 1, the sound design and the gameplay. Basic stuff, right? You got yourself a nightmare scenario. Possessed animatronics coming after you, and you only have a limited amount of tools to keep them at bay. First thing to pay attention to is the energy system that goes down the more you use the doors, cameras, and the lights. Second comes your best means of obtaining information, the cameras. And finally, the doors and lights. But these things aren't all reliable, except maybe the doors, but even they don't save you every time. The cameras have static and bad connection, blind spots everywhere, especially the one right next to the office, forcing you to rely on the lights. But when you click on that light button and you see that it sucks, you're like, are you for real, man? Everything in this place either doesn't work or could stop working at any time. How will I ever survive? Oh, but some people will think positive and say things like, well, at least it's something. Imagine if you didn't have the... Nah, that's nothing to worry about. It's fine. I got plenty of power left. It's going to be okay. Okay, now focusing more on gameplay, for real this time. The core appeal of playing these games is managing all these different mechanics in the time given. Closing doors, checking cams, preserving power. That is what makes FNAF 1's gameplay addicting. Although, nowadays, there are better alternatives, this one has its flaws, mainly being that the best strategy for beating the night is just spamming the lights and looking for Foxy a couple times to keep him at bay, or just fucking do nothing while playing a PowerPoint presentation version of the game. Like, bro, that shit is so funny. How did they even figure that out? The sounds in FNAF 1 are really well implemented and a highlight of the game. There's this really good video by the channel Scruffy that goes more in depth on the audio. You should definitely check him out later. But as a whole, there are 3 sets of audio in the game. Advantageous sounds, detrimental sounds, and immersive sounds, which are irrelevant for now. That loud-ass fan in your office buzzing all night long is annoying and serves as a distraction. Add in those weird noises you hear in the game and you get that classic FNAF 1 office sound. Creepy, right? And you can't forget about the Giga Chat of FNAF, the phone guy.
Hello? Hello?
This guy not only tells you everything you need to know about the game, but he also protects Fazbear Entertainment in the process.
But hey, first station of the breeze. I'll chat with you tomorrow. Check those cameras and remember to close the doors only if absolutely necessary. Gotta conserve power. Alright, good night. Hey, you're doing great. Most people don't last this long. I mean, you know, they usually move on to other things by now. I'm not implying that they died. That's not what I meant.
Unfortunately, the further we progress in the nights, you start to notice that his advice not only stops being effective, but actively messes with you and may lead to your death.
Hey, listen, I had an idea. If you happen to get caught and want to avoid getting stuffed into a Freddy suit, try playing dead. You know, go limp. Then there's a chance that maybe they'll think that you're an empty costume instead. Then again, if they think you're an empty costume, they might try to stuff a metal skeleton into you. I wonder how that would work. Yeah, never mind. Scratch that. It's best just not to get caught.
Now, the advantageous sounds. Those that are here to help the player. Freddy's laugh tells you where he is. Banging pots in the kitchen means Chica is there. Bonnie has nothing in particular, and Foxy has his humming. But that one actually isn't something that helps you know his current state. His actual good sound is his running, to indicate how you have only a couple seconds left before it's game over. But everyone has those almost silent footsteps to help you know when they move, although your volume needs to be high to really hear them. And of course, the one thing that everyone's been waiting for, the breathing noise Bonnie and Chica make when they're already in the office. That one's rare, but getting caught off guard by them is pretty scary. Oh, and yeah, the jump scares. I'm going to talk about the jump scares now. What makes FNAF scary is pretty simple. The tension that is built up before the animatronics kill you is the means to scare the player. But that isn't what makes it scary. For the longest time, I thought FNAF wasn't scary, and what I was feeling was just me being a small little child, but that's not true. FNAF is scary because it immerses you in the world of the game. Anyone that plays FNAF and doesn't get scared, most probably aren't taking it seriously. A jump scare itself is not scary. It's a scare that jumps at you, sure, but without any context, it has no effect. Although I do have some problems with said context, but that's for another video. So when I hear people saying to me that FNAF is not scary because it's just a jump scare game, they're wrong. FNAF is and always has been scary. You just didn't realize it yet.